I've been marketing first robotics teams for the last 5 years. I started my own video marketing business, and I've personally had conversations with business owners about why they sponsor robotics. These 7 myths are costing teams thousands in lost sponsorships. And number 4 is believed by 90% of teams. Myth number 1, we need to go viral. Look, I get it. Getting views on your content makes you feel really good. It's that validation that what you're doing is actually working because people are watching. But here's the harsh reality. Those 1,000, 10,000, 1 million views may not actually be helping your team. You see, here's how social media works. The platform puts content in front of people that it thinks they're going to like right now. And when someone decides to sit and look at that content, it tells the algorithm that it did a good job. So do you know what it does next? It finds another piece of content just like that. Rinse and repeat. Now here's the problem with trying to chase views. You may put a video out there that gets 100,000 views because the algorithm found the right person who wanted to see it. But that person may not be interested in your entire robotics team. They only cared about that one cool video that you put out. And if your next piece of content isn't exactly the same, they aren't going to watch it. So what do we do instead of measuring view count? We care about local visibility. How often are you getting comments on your content from people in your local area? Are they sharing your posts on their own pages simply because they wanted to? When you reach out to a business, how often do they say, hey, I've seen your stuff online and it's really cool? Because the truth is, 100 views from local people will beat out virality every single time. While one grows your ego, the other actually grows your program. Myth number 2, marketing starts during build season. If your team struggles to market year-round and only exists during the build season, I completely understand your pain. You're not alone. My teams have also struggled with the same issue. However, just because this has been the norm doesn't mean that it needs to stay that way. You see, it is possible to have your marketing go all year round. And I know what you're thinking. There's not much to post about when my team isn't actively building a robot, or we're not doing outreach throughout the off season. But you want to know a secret hack? You don't need to only post about things that your team is doing right now. Here's a prime example of something my team did 6 months ago. We helped a local nonprofit who organizes school supplies for families before school starts. And you know what? We didn't post about it when it happened. Instead, we posted about it months later. And the crazy part? It got lots of comments, likes, and shares, even though it was old. The trick to doing this is creating something called evergreen content. This content that is relevant no matter when you post it. There's 2 ways to do this. Number 1, the idea itself for the content you want to create is evergreen. Examples include things like why robotics is becoming the next competitive high school sport, how our team designs our robots from day 1 to day 60, why we care about giving back to our community. All of these examples could be created in September, January, April, or July, and it wouldn't matter because every single one of them is sharing information that is always relevant and true. Number 2, take something that was relevant during the build season and make it relevant now. Here's a prime example of this. My students had footage from the 2024 World Championships in Houston, and the issue was that they never did anything with it. I asked them, why don't you make a video with it? And they replied, this was back in April, and it's now October. It's not relevant anymore. And I said, well, why don't we make a video that explains our team's story and journey last year going to Worlds, and we use that to state how we are excited for the 2025 season. And we'll use all the lessons we learned to make the season even better. So they made the video. And you know what happened? It got over 2,000 views on YouTube and was a 5.9 times outlier. And in my opinion, is one of the best videos that 7028 has ever put out there. I may get a lot of flack for that comment, by the way. Myth number 3, good content equals professional photos. Taking photos is necessary in robotics. They're fast, they're easy to do, and you can get a lot of them in a very short period of time. They're useful for social media, websites, flyers, and more. But that's where most teams stop. You see, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video? Priceless. The thing that pictures miss is the emotion and the story. Your team's greatest asset is your story. The journey you went through to go from a team of 8 students to a team of 20. The long nights and endless failures to create something that not only worked, but took your team from rank 46 in your first competition to the World Championships. The skills your students have gained that they bring with them after high school. The best type of content is the stuff that makes people feel something. And if you're only stopping at pictures, you're leaving a whole heck of a lot on the table. But I also understand that being on camera or hearing your own voice is cringe, as the kids say these days. So how do we overcome this? The honest answer is practice. Here's what I would recommend that you do. Try making a video about your team's story with you being on camera or even doing a voiceover. Then when it's done, don't post it. All I want you to do is simply show it in-house to a few people on your team and ask for their thoughts. See if anyone says anything about how you look or how you sound on camera. My guess is they probably won't say a thing. Once you've got that feedback, you can decide to post it or not. But no matter what, make another video. Rinse and repeat. Eventually, that anxiety, that fear, that cringe factor will start to go away until you finally feel comfortable putting that video out online. We aren't born to be comfortable on camera. It's a skill just like anything else. But you can get better at it with practice, and I think you'll be surprised at how great your stories could be with you in them. Myth number 4, sponsors care about our robot. The biggest myth that most teams fall into is this idea that your robot is what people care about. I'm sorry if I'm about to break your world bubble, but it's not true. You see, most sponsors will find your robot cool and interesting. They'll nod their head and they'll be amazed at the work you've done and what you've built. But you know what really gets their hearts pumping? When you talk about the growth and skills your students have gained. When you explain the impact you've had on STEM education in your community because of the outreach that you've done. These are the valuable things that sponsors care about. Because at the end of the day, people are the most valuable asset to a business. And the robotics teams are fantastic at this. I've had conversations with recruiters from universities, hospitals, packaging companies, and CNC machining companies. And every single one of them has told me the same thing. They sponsor robotics because they care about the skill growth the students in the program are getting. And their hopes are that those students will go into careers that they can recruit from. So when you post pictures or videos of your robot shooting a ball, climbing a ladder, or doing the thing, don't forget, how can you tie in the growth of a student into this post? Because if you can do that consistently, your team will attract sponsors and businesses more often than ever before. Myth number 5, we need a big social media following. You know something crazy about social media follower counts? You can make more money with having 1,000 truly engaged local followers than 10,000 random followers. I know this may sound counterintuitive, but it's true. Almost every single social media marketer who specializes in growing businesses will tell you this. And while we're talking about robotics here, not business, the concept holds true. Local engaged followers will beat out random followers every single day of the week. So how do we use this information to grow our team? Stop chasing views. Stop chasing subscriber or follower counts. Focus on staying consistent with your marketing and creating the right content for the right person. If you really want to measure metrics, the best metrics to measure, in my opinion, are shares, likes, and comments. The share is the most important metric of anything. It means that whoever saw your content thought it was so good that they had to show someone else. Find the top 10 pieces of content your team has made that has the most shares and ask yourself, how can we make a post like this again? If you keep that mindset, your team's marketing will truly take off. You'll see that people in your community start to recognize you and your team around the area. They'll ask you questions about how they can join robotics. You'll have businesses reach out to you saying how they thought your recent post was so cool and potentially be interested in helping you out. This may sound like a pipe dream to you right now, but I guarantee it can become the norm. Myth number 6, students don't care about marketing. Let's face it, most students are joining robotics because they want to build a robot, right? They don't care about doing marketing. I had these exact same thoughts when I first started coaching robotics. I had no idea what I was doing and I didn't know how to recruit. We put up flyers. I spoke at open house for high school activities. I even would advertise joining the robotics team to my students in my classes. And the crazy part is, it worked for a little while. But I got stuck having to figure out all the marketing for the team because I never advertised that was something students could do in robotics. It wasn't until only about year 3 that I realized I needed to make our marketing more attractive. So I started focusing on making content that resonated with high school students. Cool videos of our t-shirt cannon robot. We started a podcast and I invited the prom king and the queen onto it. I made marketing look fun, but I also did something else. I made it structured. Before this point, we had posted things online whenever we had something we thought we needed to share. There was no rhyme or reason to when we would post or what it was about. It wasn't until I started learning marketing myself and took some online courses that I learned about content buckets and structure. This completely changed the game. We went from posting every once in a while to 3 times a week. We went from random pictures of whatever to posts about our robot, our students and mentors, and behind the scenes moments. And you know what happened? My marketing department grew from just me to 5 other students in the span of a year. People started recognizing us around town, and we had kids in the school actually know about robotics. If your team is lacking marketing structure, check out some of the other videos on my channel where I help break down marketing strategy. Finally, myth number 7, marketing is separate from outreach. Most robotics teams have a business department or an outreach department. Their focus is usually on getting sponsors or setting up outreach events, but they often don't see themselves as marketing. You know the crazy part? They're the exact same thing. Yet many students who find themselves in outreach or business don't want to market their team. Now, I understand that not all students want to pick up a camera. Not all students want to learn how to video edit. But the students doing outreach on your team are the best students to market your team because they have all the stories. They are the face of your team to the public. They are the ones interacting with the business owners, the elementary students, and the parents. Utilize these students for their ideas and their spoken words to transform your robot pictures into real, genuine connections that attract more people to your team. And if you're an outreach student, think of how you can utilize your presentation skills to market your team. Because at the end of the day, every student on your robotics team has the ability to market your team. Sometimes they just need to be shown how first. Those are the 7 robotics marketing myths that are keeping your team's marketing from taking off. Let me know in the comments below which one you found the most helpful. Now, check out this video next because YouTube thinks you may like it.